So after completing the game, I just want to put it out there that I am no professional reviewer and this is strictly my opinions of the game. My goal of this review is basically to answer two main questions. Was this game worth buying and who is this game actually for? I'm currently doing a walkthrough on my channel, so yeah guys, there's 2 parts out, so go and check that out. I really appreciate it, and yeah, let's get straight into this video. Forspoken was originally scheduled for release on May 24th, 2022. Instead, it got delayed to January 2023. So my initial thoughts was maybe this game needed a little more time in the oven just to get that perfect result. But when they finally released a demo for this game, it got so much hate, and I don't feel like it deserved that hate. I mean, I bought the game to make content for my channel, and I was just like, let us give our input, especially the small channels, so that we can post it and see what it's all about. So yeah, there were some issues, but I mean, like, that doesn't necessarily define a game and how much fun you're gonna have for the game. So yeah, like, let me give you my review of this game. So after beating the game, I can fairly say that like I could not stop playing this game, and the only reasons I stopped playing this game was because my eyes needed a little bit of rest. The second reason was load shedding, which literally means a blackout for a few hours where you have no electricity, and that could happen several times during the day where you can't play game or edit any videos. Overall, this is not a great game, but it's definitely not a bad game. It definitely has its issues. And some of those issues are performance related. This game was released as a next gen game, and if you compare this game to a game such as God of War, which wasn't necessarily a next gen game because it was released both on the PS4 and the PS5, I would say that this game definitely falls short, and I will get into more detail later on. So the dialogue in this game. The writing in this game can be very cringe, but I have to be honest and say that like it grew on me. Like for reals, the jokes, they don't always land, but it was funny, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. But this game does however fall into that trap where some of the cutscenes you can't skip. Like for reals, you literally can't skip, you have to watch it. And at times when you want to skip, you can't, because like if you do this for content, like obviously you can't skip scenes because then people would be like, what is going on? I don't know, I missed the lines. And yeah, so that is basically something I would say I didn't necessarily like, that I felt like it was a bit outdated. Like I mean, God of War, like that is definitely a game that set the standards for dialogue. Like you can't necessarily skip those scenes, but at least they were good and very well written. So yeah, they could learn a lot from maybe games like that. So yeah, the graphics overall look good to me. Like I enjoyed watching and exploring this world. It did feel a bit empty, but I understood, like I mean, if you moving fast throughout this world and there's so much to do, I would say like you would like get too lost in the world, and like the pacing of the story would feel slower. So I think they did a good job in terms of how the game looks and actually like feels and what you have to do in the game. It doesn't feel overwhelming, and like it just feels like you have enough time to explore during a certain section. And especially if I had to basically bring it back to the dialogue, so after you have such long cutscenes and like a lot of dialogue, when you finally get to explore the world of Athia, like just explore, it really looks stunning and feels good. And yeah, you just feel amazing when you like magic parkouring throughout this world. So there are 3 resolution modes: quality, ray tracing, and performance mode. I played this game on performance mode because I wanted a smooth experience. I didn't necessarily want to prioritize the graphics because the game already looks good when it's at 60 frames per second. Yeah, times it did drop to 720, but only during cutscenes I could notice that. But for me overall, I enjoyed the performance mode. I tried both the quality mode and the ray tracing mode. The quality mode obviously prioritizes the graphics over the frame rates, and the ray tracing tries to do like both, where it tries to do really good graphics with some good frame rates. But I tried them all and I still would prefer the performance mode. It just makes the overall experience smooth, and going from 30 seconds to 60 frames, you kind of notice that, and you always want to just go for the performance mode, especially on the PS5. The combat in this game is a lot of fun. I mean, there's so much depth in this game if you really explore. Like, I mean, you can have various builds. Like, for me, the two most common builds you could have is more like offensive or defensive. It depends how your playing style is. So for me personally, I'm more like an offensive type of player, so I struggled a lot because this game actually wants you to jump between defense and offense because it's very fast paced. And yeah, at times I just failed because I'm not the best gamer. But yeah, that's my experience in terms of the gameplay. However, I do want to speak about the AI. The AI in this game is not the best. Like, I mean, it's not a difficult game. So for me personally, I died a lot, but I've seen other people play the game and they literally just made this game look easy, even on the hardest difficulty. But for me, that doesn't necessarily take away from the experience, because I feel like the developers had the idea of creating this game to be fun, and like with these type of games, you just want to feel OP. Games that I could think of where the developers wanted to make you feel OP are like games like Infamous series and the Prototype series. There are other three features that I would like to talk about that also contribute to the combat and the gameplay. So these are your necklace, your cloak, and your nails. So depending on what nails you wear and the cloak you wear and the necklace you wear, you can boost certain stats. So for me personally, I didn't invest too much time into this because I personally felt like for me it didn't have that much of an impact, but I still feel like it's a nice addition. And I've seen videos where people can actually like make some OP builds, so that is definitely a good addition to the game. And personally, because Frey is a woman, I just felt like that was a nice touch to the game. I feel like if you pay attention to the smallest details in this game, you can actually see what the devs actually tried to do and what direction they wanted to go with this game. So in conclusion, who is this game for and was this actually worth it? So is it worth buying? I would personally say if you have the means to afford this game, then I would say yes, it's definitely worth it. But if you want to just wait for a bit, I would recommend you rather wait, because there's still a lot of things that they could fix with potential future patches and stuff, and that would make the game even better. And there's also an upcoming DLC, so maybe wait a bit and then maybe buy that, because you can watch reviews and decide for yourself if you want to maybe play this game. So hopefully I've answered the questions and you think it's worth buying or you don't think it's worth buying. So who is this game for? If you really just want to have fun and explore the world and collect things, then this is definitely your game. It reminds me a lot of Infamous and Prototype, like in the sense that like you feel OP, there's a lot to do, and like, you know. So for me personally, if you like those games, then you definitely would enjoy this. It's not a great game, especially the story. I mean, it's nothing like new, so but still it's enjoyable. The dialogue, there is some good writing somewhere if you just look carefully. But yeah, overall I would say like if you like those things, then you definitely want to get this game. But if you are a person who like really good graphics and you expected the next gen, I would say then this game is probably not for you. With future patches, like I stated like before, I think the game could get better, but story wise they can't really change. Maybe they're gonna look at the DLC and say, but okay, these are the things people didn't like in the normal story or the normal campaign. So yeah, but I don't think it's gonna improve that much. So hopefully I answered all the questions. Like if there's something you would maybe want to add or want to ask me down in the comments, and give this video a like, and please subscribe if you have not. It really helps out my channel. So yeah guys, that's all for now. You can still check out my full walkthrough on my channel. I'll be covering this game till the end.